Hello everyone, Pharmaville welcomes you all busy people to yet another learning video. In this video, we are going to learn about the Jubilant Generics 483 observations. So as you might be aware of the fact that couple of days back, USFDA has uploaded Form 483 of Jubilant Generics on its website. And I hope those who are working in the USFDA approved plants, they might be aware of this. So well friends, Roorkee Dehradoon facility of the Jubilant Generics was inspected by USFDA in the month of July from 20th of July to 1st of August 2022. It was almost 9 days audit if you exclude Saturdays and Sundays. There were two auditors who conducted the audit and their names were Rajiv Srivastav and Y. Vince Dungeon. So guys, these two auditors has given total 6 number of observations, and out of 6 observations, 5 observations belongs to quality control. So those who are working in the quality control and quality assurance, for them this video is going to be very important. So with this note, let's get started with today's video. Observation number 1, and the title of the observation number 1 is there was a failure to thoroughly review any unexplained discrepancy. So under this observation, auditors has reviewed an OS investigation report and they observed multiple discrepancies in the OS investigation report. So let us see what were the discrepancies. So friends, during the analysis of a product, OOS was observed in the water content test. This analysis was done by the contract laboratory and investigation was carried out by the contract laboratory, and root cause for the OOS was concluded as a humidity was not maintained during the sample analysis, because of which OOS result was observed. So further initial analysis result was invalidated and retesting was done using new sample. Now auditors observed that the STP do not include any instruction related to maintaining of humidity during the analysis. Moreover, contract laboratory do not maintain any humidity record. They monitor only laboratory temperature. And as a part of CAPA, the revision of the STP was proposed to include a note point as avoid prolonged exposure of the sample in the environment. Now auditors raised the concern that how long exposure of the sample to environment can result OOS. That justification is not appropriately provided. Moreover, there are no provisions to record or monitor the humidity during the analysis. So this was the first example mentioned under the observation number 1. Now let us see one more example mentioned under observation number 1. So guys, auditors reviewed one AIR report. AIR report means Analysis Interruption Report, which is nothing but the QC incident. So what happened? One of the dissolution sample set was aborted during the analysis as improper peak was observed. So further investigation was done and the root cause for the improper peak was concluded as a poor column performance. Thereafter, repeat analysis was done with another column. Now, in repeat analysis, unknown peaks were observed beside analyte peak, and the same data was considered for the reporting and batch release. Now comes the observation number 2, and the title of the observation number 2 is written records were not made always for the investigations of unexplained discrepancies. So under this observation, auditors observed that there were around 25 instrument failures for the UB instrument from Feb 2019 to June 2022. Now what is the cause for these many failures? That was not investigated. And during the QC lab round on 20th of July 2022, auditors observed instrument failure, but the same was not addressed and investigated. Along with this, auditors also observed that there was no instrument usage logbook. Observation number 3, and the title of the observation number 3 is written records of investigations of unexplained discrepancies do not include the conclusions and the follow-ups. So under this observation, auditors found that there were 10 analysis interruption reports which were initiated for the sample set interruptions. Or in a simple language, I can say that there were 10 incidents raised for the sample set interruptions in the quality control. And all these incident investigations were not closed. Along with that, there was no timeline mentioned in the SOP for the closure of the investigations. So here you can see the detail of the incidents mentioned in the Form 483. Now let us understand another example mentioned under the observation number 3. So under this example, auditors has reviewed OS investigation report for which root cause was concluded as a improper cleaning of the UV cubit. So likewise, total 4 times same root cause was concluded for the other OS results. Therefore, auditors stated that your firm has failed to take appropriate corrective measures to prevent the reoccurrence of improper cleaning of the UV cubit. So this was the second example mentioned under the observation number 3. Now let us see one more interesting example mentioned under observation number 3. So guys, there were 10 power failures were recorded, out of which 7 were recorded in the quality control lab for UPS power failure. Now auditors raised a concern that you have not taken appropriate CAPAs for the similar or the multiple failures. Along with this, auditors also mentioned that you have not performed the product impact assessment for those instruments which were impacted during the power failure. So this was all about the observation number 3. Now we will discuss the observation number 4. Observation number 4, and the title of the observation number 4 is the responsibilities and the procedures applicable to quality control unit were not in writing and fully followed. So under this observation, auditors found that there were no audit trail review procedure for some of the data acquisition softwares. For example, lab solution software which is used in the UV spectrophotometer and SCADA software. So for these two softwares, there is no procedure available for the audit trail review. One more example mentioned under observation number 4, according to which there is no procedure available for handling of the laboratory incidents, like how to investigate and close the laboratory incidents in stipulated time period. Along with this example, auditors also stated that you do not follow the SOP of handling of extraneous peaks adequately, as some of the products were having extraneous peaks in dissolution test, but all those cases were not recorded and investigated. So this was all about the observation number 4. Now comes the observation number 5, and the title of the observation number 5 is established laboratory control mechanisms were not followed and documented at the time of performance. So under this observation, auditors during the QC lab round found that there was one of the balance which was not cleaned properly, and there was extra matter deposited on the sides of the balance. Along with this, auditors also observed in the microbiology lab, one of the logbook was not having the details of the media batch number which was used for the growth promotion test. Now comes the last observation, observation number 6, and the title of the observation number 6 is batch production and control records do not include the complete information related to the production and control of each batch. So under this observation, auditors found that during the batch manufacturing and packaging, there were multiple times machine stoppages, and all the stoppages were not documented and investigated. So guys, it's very well known fact that whenever any discrepancy occurs during any kind of activity, whether it is manufacturing or analysis, we should always record and investigate the discrepancy appropriately. So guys, these were the 6 observations which were issued by USFDA to Jubilant Generics Dehradoon facility. So whatever examples mentioned in the form 483, we have understood all of them. If you still want more details about these observations, then you can check the link given in the description, or you can visit the USFDA website to download the form 483. So this is it for today. Hope you have learned something new today. Bye bye and happy learning.